welcome to a semester of Fortunate Events. I'm your host, Jessica Bennett, and this podcast explores how our education, careers, and life experiences intersect in unexpected ways. My journey has been filled with a number of really fortunate events, but many of those started as challenges and ultimately led to growth and opportunities. Today, I am so excited to share the airspace with Christy Huckabee, CEO, broker, and owner of the Closers Real Estate Group. Christy is a leader in residential and commercial real estate with over 25 years of experience, and she's known for her work ethic, vast industry knowledge, and her passion for design. Christy, welcome to the show. Could you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you into real estate?
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for having
Hello.
me. Yes. Now I'm on like decade 3,
It's
and
amazing.
so this has been my life. This has been my life's work,
Mm-hmm.
and it all started back in. I graduated from the University of North Texas in Denton,
Okay.
and I was studying interior design. And
Wow.
so I went to New York and I did, I was studying furniture and I was
Mm-hmm.
doing all of that and get back and to do my internship. And I quickly realized that there's not money to be made in interior design. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I picked the wrong one. I'm a expert.
Yes.
So I quickly realized that I needed to be in sales.
Mm-hmm.
And although I am in, uh, I have that talent of sales,
Mm-hmm.
I still needed that education to get me there. So it
Mm-hmm.
gave me a lot of background confidence in,
Good.
home furnishing merchandising. And I took an internship with a builder
Oh,
in Flower Mound, Texas, called Princeton Homes, and
okay.
I was the, what do you call it, the hostess.
Yes.
And back in the 90s, wallpaper was really important, and the Formica countertops. And
Mm-hmm.
so I would decorate their inventory homes
Oh,
and make.
that's amazing. I didn't realize
So
that
that,
about you, that you started in design. That's so beneficial to what you do now.
yeah, I was studying architecture. I mean, I had a drafting board in
Oh,
my
wow.
apartment.
Hardcore.
And I did it all. But then
Yeah.
because I was just telling my boys, you never know what you want to be when you grow up. I
Mm-hmm.
never had that that moment where I was like, you know what, I'm going to be this.
Mm-hmm.
And so this kind of evolved into it. And then once I got my taste of it, um, when I smelled that lumber and watched that construction
Mm-hmm. Yep.
as a very young 21-year-old girl, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm hooked. Now I need to learn more.
Yes. I didn't realize that you had a role at Johnson Development. I have some involvement with them over my career as well. So you were in charge of realtor relations. Is that how you kind of got interested in becoming a realtor, or tell me a little bit more
Well,
about that role?
I went into new home sales,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw what realtors were making,
Yeah.
because a new home sales person doesn't make what a realtor would make.
Right.
And then I was strapped to a model home, and I was like, well, I need to be a realtor.
Yeah.
And so I got my real estate license and was quickly, interested in development. So I kind of, every step I've made throughout this career is just another learning element.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to learn development. And so when Johnson Development, I met them at a realtor event,
Oh.
and they just kind of latched on and said, we think you would be great for our realtor relations. And they needed somebody with a real estate license. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
let's do it. So
That's perfect.
North, I was driving from North Houston every day down to Pearland,
Oh,
because it was
wow.
Johnson that started Silver Lake Development. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where I was direct. It was really cool.
Yeah, that is. So, like I said, I didn't realize that your career and your background is so deep rooted from new home sales to now owning your own brokerage. But it all obviously feeds into one another, and each chapter is kind of built on the last, it seems like, and has become this well-rounded career for you. So, I love to hear about your background and all the things that led to where you are now. For me, you probably don't know my full history, so I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about it. I actually worked for Perry Homes, and Pearland was part of my division when I was working there. So,
Wow.
yes, I worked on the field marketing team, and I was there and then progressed into a development marketing role where I was then covering the entire state. Previously, I was covering, parts of Houston, and then got a promotion, which I was kind of nervous about going for because I felt like maybe I wasn't, the best fit, but they picked me. And that was really encouraging because they saw, I guess something in me that I probably hadn't seen. But they really, go ahead.
I said they probably did. That's how it is. We don't
Yes.
see ourselves the way they see us. So
I know.
wonderful.
I know. I have so much respect for Perry Homes. They really poured into me, and I was there for almost 6 years. And in my last role there, I basically built a marketing communications department from the ground up. So it was during COVID, and there was, some transitions with staff, and they approached me, the leadership team approached me about taking on the corporate social accounts. So it's the main Perry Homes account, plus all of the city pages like San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. So it was another really great chance for me to grow in my career. And I did that role for about 2 years. So I love Perry Homes. I love all the things that I've learned there. And after Perry, I became the vice president of marketing at J. Tolosic Homes, which is how I officially am connected to you. Fiorella is really the one who set up our, I think, first meeting, Fiorella with Capital Title. And she's now with Capital Title in Nick City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Fiorella.
Yes, Fiorella. I'm trying to get her to come on this podcast too soon.
Well, it's just interesting how, okay, you're so much younger than me, and you had a thing with Perry.
Yes.
And I knew when I wanted to get into new home sales, I wanted to work for Perry. That was the only one. And so back in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
when I was applying, 1993, 94, I got my typewriter out and I wrote out a resume. And I said, I was writing to Perry, and it was like I've dreamed of, working for such a wonderful builder as Perry Homes. Perry Homes is the ultimate for me. I had like 3 Perry Homes in my copy.
Yeah.
And so I to send it to other builders because I needed a job out of college.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change those 3 spots that said Perry Homes and put the builder that I was sending the resume to. And so this is how I got my first job with Ryland Homes, because I got a call from the sales manager, and his name was Ken Trainer. I'll never forget him. And he called me and he said, Christy, this is Ken Trainer with Ryland Homes. I'm sitting here. I just got your resume, and I have got to meet the girl that has the nerve to send me a letter telling me how badly she wants to work for Perry Homes.
Stop it. I knew that. That's hilarious.
I break out in a sweat, because I'm still a young girl. I have no experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. And
I can't believe it.
He goes, can you be here tomorrow at noon? And I'm like, yeah.
That's amazing.
I met him, and that's my first job.
Well, something stood out to him other than that you sent it to the wrong company.
No, looking back, as with all this wisdom I have now, nothing's by accident.
Nothing. That is so funny. It's just a marketing ploy, a little tactic to get noticed.
Yeah.
That's
We gotta
amazing.
stand out.
That's so funny. Well, Christy.
But what I did
Yes.
get to this point where I wanted to, I went into real estate. Then I worked for Marcus and Millichap. After I left Johnson Development, I wanted to learn the commercial realm.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know everything about commercial. And then I was, back full circle moment, went to another production builder to design homes in sales as a marketer for Drees. And then I'm back into real estate. So I really quickly moved into the luxury market, and which fulfilled everything so now I've just taken these steps, and I'm hitting these marks of everything that I wanted to accomplish in my career, and then I just felt like I had a bigger purpose than this. Like, is this going to be it for me? There's 40,000-50,000 realtors kind of embarrassed to be one because it's not nothing really special about being a realtor. So how am I going to make my life have meaning?
Mm-hmm.
And when I it was one of my biggest blessings I got that led me to where I am right now, and that was I became director of sales and a mentor at a big real estate firm in Houston. I had like 180 agents underneath me, and
Wow,
so
that's amazing. That's a lot.
I was teaching, training them. I was, giving my life lessons. I'd lock them in my office, and I would just inspire them and show
Oh,
them that they're worthy, and all the things that I was insecure about. I was like, you can do this, and that's where the seed was planted for me to start my own brokerage and go to where I am now.
wow. So the closers, how did you come up with that name for your company? Obviously,
I,
closing is a real estate, the end goal of real estate transactions. So it just kind of came to you quickly, or how did that come up
well,
with
I
your?
like to say that I'm a master marketer that just
Mm-hmm.
happens to sell.
Okay.
Um, Marketing is everything, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm very versed in that. So naming your brokerage that was probably the most important job I've ever had,
Mm-hmm.
and it could just be anything. And I didn't want my name on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted it powerful, and I wanted it, that it could go way past me, way past my lifetime. So I'm a manifester. I get quiet. I sit and I kind of draw things out and
Mm-hmm.
think and research, and I'm on there buying all kinds of different kind of names on, every kind of .com I can
Yeah.
think of until I just, when I said it and I saw that it was like, God, please let this be available.
Wow.
And it was.
It was meant to be.
And then I drew it out. I had a logo guy draw my sexy logo.
I love your
And
logo. It's beautiful.
it's so good, Jessica. It's
It
so good.
is. It stands out. It says luxury. It's because gold is your main color, right? Gold and black. Are those your main
Yeah,
colors?
black and
Yeah, black and gold.
oozes luxury.
It does.
Hmm.
So I love it. So speaking of Jay Telosic, I don't know if you know this, you might, but earlier this year I switched, kind of reversed roles with them, and now they're my client, and I'm working for a marketing agency, and we have several builders that we service now. So I'm so grateful for Jay Telosic Homes and all the experience that I've gotten there. But now I'm just working with them a few hours a week. And I also work with a Dallas builder. They do sort of production, but it's townhomes and villas. So they're smaller, where they focus on the design aspect, actually. They have an award-winning lead designer, and she puts all of her, skills into every single home, and not one home is alike the other. So there's no same selections in any of their homes, which is pretty cool. And then we work with a builder in Conroe, Story Built Homes. I don't know if you've heard of them, but we need to connect you with their team because y'all would get along great. And they
I
have,
would love that.
yeah, they have build on your lot, custom homes, and then some homes, in inventory as well. So, and then we have a few other clients too. But I'm enjoying the agency side. I started actually in the agency side right out of college in 2011 when I graduated. I have a degree in communication, and I actually got my first job through my internship as well. It was a PR firm that focuses on aerospace, energy, technology. So things that are like way out of my personal skill set.
Oh, what?
It was so,
Really?
yeah, it was so, I felt, just kind of stupid all the time. Like it was learning a lot, and also learning my skills and putting those into action from school. So it was a very, um, I would say maybe like challenging role, but I learned so much, and I'm so grateful because I got to do really cool media work. So I went and, organized a press conference at, um, I think it's called the Washington Press Club or the National Press Club in DC. And I got a client on Fox and Friends morning show. Right out of college, I was able to land a national TV coverage. So things like that, they stay with you. I'm so grateful for all of that experience. And then now, however many years later, 13 years later, I'm back on the agency side. So, um,
So what are you doing? What do you do for these builders? You're just like promoting their, for like news outlets and.
so a lot of them, so for Story Built, I actually built their website. I did it on Squarespace, which is like a plug and play kind of um, website development tool, and it has a lot of customizations and things like that. So I built their website. I do their social media. I planned this huge grand opening for them that they had back in November. And they had, I think, several hundred people that attended. So it was a really good event. But we do a lot of social media, event work, strategy, consulting, things like that. So it's a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun. And I love my clients and who I get to work with every day. So that's important.
Would you ever work with a real estate company?
Yes. We haven't worked with any realtors yet, but we've been approached by a few. Uh, are you saying internal, external? Are you trying to hire me?
Yeah. So what's next for Christy is I'm going to grow. I've just gotten off Ozempic, so I've just trimmed the fat. I woke up
Mhm.
and I had a bunch of people sit along with my brand and my vision and my
Sure.
core values. And so, unlike most brokerages that hang on to anybody that can just because you're making money off of them, I could not,
Mhm.
and it just wasn't that I wasn't thriving
Mhm.
with mentally having them around.
Mhm.
And so finally got that done. So now the goal is I'm going to grow this brokerage this year. I've actually brought in a marketing team to help me
Awesome.
do, and then, but the ultimate goal is I want to be on national stages. I'm saying it. I want to teach.
Yes.
I want to train. I want to inspire. I want to, have ebooks and,
Mhm.
be a coach.
Yeah.
And that would be my life. I have a purpose for my life, and just somehow it's just got thrown into this realm of real estate of helping people. So I'm
Mhm.
helping people in the real estate world.
Right. Well,
But
I think you're
kind of
meant to
go
be
into
here.
personal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that is something super attainable for you because you're already doing that, not even on a small scale. You have a large following. I think your Instagram's at like 40K, right? So,
I think I'm over 45K now, Jessica.
wow. Look at me talking to a celebrity. I feel so honored, honestly, Christy. I know how busy you are.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, yes. So do you maintain your own social channels or do you have people that help with that as well?
No, I do. So now I'm working on getting my butt back on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I've been approached by a reality show.
Yeah, that's right.
I've done the whole interview process, and I'm actually in a contract with them
Oh.
for a year. So they're looking conceptually right now because the market is so saturated with
Mm-hmm.
real estate that they don't want to waste the pitch on yet another real estate show. And then they see what I'm doing with the Huckabee Hustle and, inspiring these agents. And so there's a story there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Christy, the CEO. There's Christy, the mom. I got a bunch of, I'm still raising kids.
Yeah.
Um,
I know
I'm,
you're so
I'm,
busy. I feel busy,
I'm,
but
I'm
you're.
my mother has dementia, and now I'm her
Oh,
sole caregiver on top of that, and
wow.
she's crazy. It's comedy hour left and right on that one.
Oh my
If
goodness.
if any of your listeners, she's really beautiful. But if she's looking for me a daddy.
Is she? She's going for
Oh yeah,
a late
oh
husband
yeah,
now or new husband in the late stage?
yeah. My dad passed away 3 years ago, and I mean she's
Aw.
on a mission to find a man. And I'm like, Mom, why did my mom have to have this kind of dementia? Why can't it just be like a normal dementia mom?
Well, it keeps things interesting, right? I mean, that sounds like she could be a star on your show.
Oh, she just acts like I'm her personal assistant. She's like, Christy, can you come over here, contour my face? Could you come do my hair? Can you go get me shopping? Take me to the country club. I need to go meet some men. I'm
That
like,
is hilarious.
I have to work, Mother.
Do y'all get along pretty well? Is it a good,
Oh
yeah?
I'm, yeah, I'm her clone. I look
Oh,
just
I know you do.
oh,
Yeah, I've seen y'all's pictures. Y'all are both, and you have a sister, right, as well?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
y'all all
mom was
look very similar.
a retared hairdresser. I grew up in a beauty shop.
Yes, that's
What
right.
happens, and that's like still Magnolia's top beauty shop with the
Wow.
gossip and 80s hair and the whole bit. So yeah, yeah, she's an adventure in itself. I'm like, I need to go to work. Okay, I need to go to work. Everybody leave me alone.
Gotta make money for this household, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, kudos to you because I know that's a lot. And it's just a lot to already have a career and then being a mom and then taking care of your mom. I know my heart goes out to you. So, but
Thank you.
yes, you're so strong and so, inspirational. I think that your story really will help inspire others. Could
Well,
you?
it's a hashtag. It's hashtag she can't quit because
That's right.
most of us entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, there's a lot of us that don't have a backup plan. There's
Mm-hmm.
nobody saving us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no husband. We're the head of household. We're the breadwinner, and we can do it all. You know
Yeah,
this. We mean you've had this.
I
We
know.
have children. We got to keep. There's sleeping is not an option. Quitting is not an option.
Yes, so
So when you
true.
get kicked in the when somebody kicks you in your gut, gives you an uppercut across your face, you got
Mm-hmm.
to put that pretty smile on and keep it moving.
That's
So
right. Smile through
uh,
it. Could you tell us a
cry
little bit?
later.
I know, cry while you're smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the Huckabee Hustle? I don't know too much about that. I've seen your pictures and videos, but is that like a Monday meeting kind of thing?
Yeah, so I every Monday I make everybody get up and they have to be on camera, uh, ready to get inspired. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a way to start the week off, and I'm just kind of what is the Huckabee Hustle? It's just a mindset. It's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of what I just said.
Yep.
Quitting's not an option. This is hard. This isn't fun. Everybody
Mm-mm.
thinks real estate's glamorous, and everybody wants to be a realtor. Pretty much everybody is. But who are the real realtors? Who are the real hustlers? Who's the
Mm-hmm.
ones that don't that run a real estate business that are respected? And so I'm just teaching the things that nobody ever taught me. The
Mm-hmm.
all the licks and lessons I've had to learn, which I'm still learning, by the way.
Aren't
And
we all?
at, at 55, I'm like, I just look up and say, God, how many more How many more do I got to learn? I mean,
Right? I don't want to be
geez,
the strongest soldier this time. Like, let me just sit on the sidelines
back
for
it
once.
up. Woo! Wore out from learning lessons. And
Oh.
and so I pass those lessons on, hoping that you know they listen to me and that they can just avoid that part because
Mm-hmm.
everybody's here for something anyway and have their own path. But
Mm-hmm.
if I can help that and inspire someone that there's Christy, she's 55. She didn't think it through. Still got a kid in high school, a 17-year-old playing football, and a mom with dementia that she's bathing, and
Aw.
she's over there running CEO and running a company, and you know,
Wow. It's
it's just,
incredible.
just I just need a theme song.
Yes, you do. Hey, I
I need
could do that for
a
you.
song.
I can come up with one. I actually am kind of an expert at making up jingles.
Oh,
I have a
let's
few
talk. What
actually. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that offline.
if you
But
and I have some espresso martinis? I'm sure the jingle will be epic.
well, I'll go ahead and tell you it so the listeners, so don't gatekeep. That's like the word of the year. But so back during COVID, I was sitting around actually with my ex, but this was a good story. So I'm going to talk about it.
Love it.
But we were sitting around and um, I don't know how we got on the topic. I think we were saying like, oh, I wish that, there would be a margarita truck that would come by, kind of like the ice cream trucks. And so we started talking about this concept for a business where it's a mobile little truck, and it would be called Taco Ritas, and you'd be able to buy 2 tacos and a nice margarita for $9.99. So, like dreaming, just like out there. But I came up with the name Taco Ritas, and I came up with the jingle as well, and it goes. Taco Ritas with the good tequila. Boop. So that's my little story. And then I have a few other jingles I've made up because I actually did grow up in music and choir and show choir and all that stuff. So music definitely like lives inside of me still, and I guess it's dying to come out.
Well, what has Taco Rita never came to life?
No, it never came to life. Although I have a friend Kirkland who still is like, you need to go and do that. Sometimes she'll just randomly send me something about Taco Ritas. And then my sister bought me a taco truck ornament one year.
So if I could, say one thing about my brain,
Yeah.
I am a perpetual dreamer and coming up with concepts and ideas. It's like it never shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could, and what I'm trying to do for 2025 is slow it and execute.
Yes.
Slow it down, and execute all these thoughts, all these ideas, and moving that mouth of mine and start making it happen.
Yes, that's a
Uh,
great plan, and I'm gonna say
I
that I'm
tell people
stealing that.
they don't talk. They do a lot of talking. They don't do a lot of acting. Just think how rich you could be right now.
I
Like
know.
taco,
I
taco
know.
Rita.
Right? It's catchy. Like you'll probably never forget that.
I know when you get one like I'm hungry. Let me call this truck, and there's
Right?
a couple tacos and margaritas. It's great.
Maybe
I
one
mean,
day. I think one of
mhm.
us bought I actually think I have the Instagram handle reserved. So I did
Don't
do.
give up that.
I know. I'm not gonna let it go, just in case. But and also another positive update. I sold the house that we had talked about. That was
Oh,
that I'd
oh,
purchased all those years ago. Finally,
uh-huh.
was able to find an investor who bought it from me. So, that whole situation is now kind of being wrapped up with a bow. So I'm able to move on to my next stage of
Woo!
life.
Woo!
I know,
Take those
exciting.
shackles and throw them away. Those shackling and hold it down.
Amen. Well, to wrap us up, I want to ask one final question. And you've talked about a lot of, things that you've gone through and challenges and overcoming them. But if there's one fortunate event or if there's one, unexpected event or challenge in your career that turned into a defining moment or fortunate event, could you share that with us? You might have already hit on it.
Well, when I saw myself when I started managing people
Mm-hmm.
and teaching and training and watching the light bulb go off on top of their head,
Mm-hmm.
it was the most fulfilling. I didn't care about anything else, and it was like I morphed into a therapist, and then was able to really touch somebody. I have to get into their soul to be able to help them in real estate, help
Mm-hmm.
them win. And so when I saw that their reaction, that they reacted to me, that they loved me, that they
Mm-hmm.
respected me, and they understood or saw, like we talked about earlier, they saw me differently than I see myself,
Yes.
and they actually respected and needed me, and wanted to win. That was done. I was done for. I was done
Yep.
for. And so that's what now me having the closers is
Mm-hmm.
just a bigger platform for me to be able to do more of that. And the interesting part about having 45,000 followers is they're not all realtors,
Right.
and it's so many messages that just say, if I ever got into real estate, I want to be on your team.
I
Can I
love
get a link and be on your Mastering Monday call? What are you saying to them? I want to be there. And then I'm sitting there with my team, and I'm at a little bar downtown Edo,
Mm-hmm.
and this woman starts walking up towards me, and I'm like, oh God, something's about to happen. What's about to She's looking at me. She's coming towards me. Like,
Uh-oh.
what's about to happen? And she stopped me. She looked at everybody. She goes, excuse me, I'm so sorry. She goes, but hi, Christy. I don't even know who she is. And she said,
A
I just
famous
want you to know,
celebrity.
I follow you. I'm a school teacher. I'm not even in real
Aw.
estate, but I just admire you so
Aw.
much, and you inspire me every day. And I'm like,
Oh,
get over here and give me
yes. I mean, that kind of stuff keeps you going, right? I mean, just to know that
yeah,
you're making an impact on other people without even sometimes realizing it. So that
yeah.
is
And when
awesome.
and when you're winning, they're the vultures that want what you have. They
Yes.
want to take what you take your business. They want to take your business
Ugh.
model. They want to be you.
Yep.
And all that has happened to me. And as
Mm-hmm.
bad as that, it's also made me better because,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, I'm more cynical. Like, who do I trust?
Right.
But it's made me even more focused on what I'm really here to do,
Mm-hmm.
and to accomplish my goal. And now it's just like like the old Popeye with I eat my spinach and I'm just knocking them. Everybody's coming at me. I'm just knocking them out. Like, nope,
That's
nope. I already
amazing.
figured people like you out. Bye
Good.
bye.
Well, good. Because then you can, yeah, just unfortunately, you'll face these things that kind of blindside you sometimes, but then they are learning lessons, even though they're painful and, who wants to go through them? But you do come out on the other side stronger and, like you said, a little bit more cautious, which is probably
Yeah.
good in the end. Well, what's the best way for listeners to connect with you? Is it Instagram or is it email or through your website? Where would you like our listeners to go?
Well, I've got it all, but probably the most fun way for them to reach out to me is through Instagram, because
Okay.
then they can see all the fun stuff that I'm doing and then message me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm growing the brokerage and, looking for the ones that want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Perfect. Well, I'll link your
who knows?
Instagram handles.
Well, I know what's next. So just stay tuned. It's
Yes. Well,
coming.
I can't wait to hear. Ooh, I'm going to be watching. Well, Christy, seriously, thank you again. This has been such a fun conversation. I would love to do a million more of these with you, but I'm grateful for this one.
Who knows what our future holds? Who knows what our future holds?
Exactly. But
Okay?
thank you again. And I also want to thank all of the special guests and the amazing listeners who've joined my podcast journey this semester. I'll be continuing this podcast next semester through the end of 2025 as my final graduate school project. So I'm getting my master's degree in digital media studies, and this will be my final project for it. So I'll be doing
You
probably
are party.
well, I also have a drive and things that keep me going, and a lot of it's my faith, a lot of it is my son, and then just my personal kind of desire, to see what all I can achieve. So,
Yeah.
couldn't do it without the support system. But thank you again,
Well, I'm rooting
Christy.
you on. I'm rooting you on. I'm praying for you, and you're gonna win, baby. I
Well,
know it.
thank you. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. And for the listeners, stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.